Welcome to the Tom Bernard Podcast with the family and
Andy Brandt Bernard
and Kristen Burt.
Catherine is in Washington, D.C. It's over 100% humidity. I guess it could not be over 100% humidity, but 100% humidity, but it's over 100 degrees. I guess it's a real beauty out in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of looking forward to coming back. Oh, good. I just got somebody hitting me up for money on some fake phone call. I just love that so much. That's getting a lot more prevalent, isn't it?
Yeah, there was like, click this link, and they try and do it with like toll roads. Like they're like, you haven't paid your toll fees.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they do all that.
Of those, even though there are not any toll roads that I'm aware of in Minnesota. So
no,
you think they'd know better, but nope, they don't.
I get every day. Your parking spot in downtown Minneapolis is going to expire in a few minutes. You should pay through the phone.
Yeah.
Call us and pay us, and then we'll make sure it doesn't expire. Yeah, okay. I don't know if this is true throughout history. I haven't really studied it much and all the rest of it, but people seem much more greedy than they used to be. I mean, just hideous. And maybe that's just because I was younger and I didn't notice. People are grimy. They're so, You hold up $1, they have a heart attack. Why don't you get off your ass and work? What do you think? Right?
There's not enough jobs for a lot of people. The unemployment rate, I don't know. I know I see what's happening here in Los Angeles, and even trying to get hired at a restaurant, not easy like it was 3 years ago, where you could just be like, walk in and be like, you know what? I need a job to hold me over. I know a lot of friends who are sitting there saying, I can't even get hired at Target just to have a job, to earn some income.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest problem is, once again, it's the same problem. It's greed, corporate greed. Oh, it's just hideous. I mean, it's honestly, God, while Catherine and I were talking about this in West Palm Beach, it's really rough too. Honey, let's go to lunch. I'll bring $200 to make sure we pay the tab for lunch. I mean, what? Okay, $200.
Well, like I said, when we were down there for, how long were we down there for? Like 11 days or something like that. We spent a total of $2,000.
$2,000.
Yeah, between groceries and going out to eat and buying stuff. And yeah, it was insane, because getting a day's groceries down there is like $75.
Oh, absolutely it is.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, sure. Because it's a tourist location, and they know they can gouge people.
Yep. All right, I'm going to give out a couple of numbers, and Kristen, you're lucky you don't have to be here when the people start calling in on these numbers. The text line is 612-361-6622. Again, the text line, 612-361-6622. You can call in starting at 11 o'clock this morning, Central Time, 952-977-9381. The call-in number, 952-977-9381. The Minnesota Twins, for I don't know how many games in a row now, have given up double-digit runs. I don't ever remember that happening before.
I think you jinxed them. You were like, they're doing so great, and then they're not.
I jinxed the team. That's exactly what happened. But yeah, Chris Eggert can't be on today, so we have an entire half hour open to complain about the Minnesota Twins, which I will do by myself if I have to.
Well, the biggest blowout in MLB history is apparently only 30-3.
30-3.
I mean, if they're giving up double digits, then they're not that far off, right?
Well, I suppose not. But 30. When was that? Like 1912?
No, 2007.
Really?
Rangers beat the Orioles.
30 runs they scored.
Yep. It's quite a few runs.
Fawn, my Twins gave up what did they give up yesterday? 11 runs again? They're giving up double-digit runs almost every game now.
She doesn't know what that means.
I feel the same way. I'm like, what?
Oh, my God. All of you shut up.
Well, I don't know anything about sports, but I can surmise that means the other team got 11 points.
11 runs, not points.
Whatever.
Well, it is.
I go for the snacks. I don't know. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, snacks. Yeah, if we go to the Twins game tomorrow, then I'm there for the food.
Well, I suppose that's true.
At this point, not a whole lot else going on.
Honest to God, one of the photographers at one of the local TV stations, showed it was not a bad day. It was a beautiful day yesterday. You remember? I mean, it was nice.
Yeah, yesterday was nice.
They showed the upper deck of the stadium, there was one person sitting in the entire upper deck.
I think that'd be cool, having the
So
whole
all
thing to
yourself.
That
yourself.
would be cool.
All to yourself. So I'll stop complaining about the Twins because you don't want to hear it, but there's going to be some Twins complaining after 11 o'clock on this show.
Oh,
That
boy.
team is horrendous. They got a few good people, but that's about it. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So you have any good news, Kristen Bird?
Martin Cove bit his coworker.
That doesn't
Martin
surprise-
Cove from Cobra Kai bit his coworker.
What?
He, you know, one of the only shows he'll come on is mine. He does not like going on interview shows, but he'll come on mine for some reason.
You need to then call him and ask about the biting incident because he
Martin-
was almost arrested in Washington State this weekend. He was at one of the fan conventions and he was walking by his co-star. And of course, the series has wrapped, so they're not going to face each other on set at this point. But Alicia Hannah Kim walked by and he bit her arm almost so hard that it came very close to breaking the skin, but there were marks.
Wow.
Her husband was there and her husband was like, "Wow, what are you doing?" And then Martin tried to then kiss Hannah's arm. Everyone got very upset that the convention got involved. The Washington State Police got involved.
Oh my
And
God.
and they just said, think about it. Do you want to press charges? Hannah decided not to press. Alicia decided not to press charges. But that is just very awkward. And he's like, I was just joking. It was just like a cute little bite. But obviously it's close to breaking the skin. It's not a hard bite. I mean, it's not a little bite. It's a hard bite.
Actually, Martin Cove has been in this studio sitting where Alex is right now. And he was in with another. Would you remember who the woman he came in with, Andy?
No.
You might not even remember Martin, but yeah, he was sitting where Alex is sitting right now. And I'm not scared of anyone, but I feel uneasy around some people. And even though Martin Cove is always very nice to me, very nice, I look at him like, he's just got that feel about him.
He did Dancing with the Stars, so I did cover him. He's he's intimidating for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I underneath the surface, I feel like there's a little bit of darkness there.
Well,
you kind of feel it. It's why he plays the villain. I mean, and if you're not realizing like it's just a little love bite, you probably shouldn't be biting your coworkers to begin with.
No,
like what inspired him to like open his mouth and chomp down on her arm?
Drugs.
I don't know if he does drugs.
I don't know.
That's Martin. And Martin's he's not a tall guy, but he's pretty well built.
Yeah.
He's not a skinny little fella or anything like that.
He was in with Susan Gallagher.
Susan Gallagher, there you go.
Episode 2501. So that was actually relatively recently.
Yeah, it was.
That would have been on what day was that? Let me just see if I can find out when that actually was.
And I don't know what it is, Kristen, but he's always been nice to me. And I don't know why.
Maybe you intimidate him. So he's like, great, two intimidating guys.
That was February 2024, 2/16/24. So
it's like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, not even a year and a half ago.
Not even a year and a half ago. You're right. But yeah, Martin, you can't do that stuff. I mean, on TV, on Cobra Kai, he's perfect because he's very intimidating.
He's great. He's great in the role.
He really
always has been.
But I just don't know about biting women. Why do you want to do that?
I mean, in general, you shouldn't even bite your male coworker, but
probably not.
I think like a little bit extra layer of that. Don't bite your female coworker. I don't know. Like
you eat okay, Fawn, Alex.
Yeah.
Can you imagine me biting Nana?
No.
She starts laughing. No.
Smack you in the face. Like, what are you doing? Get away from me.
They would. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm sorry to hear that because he's going to have to pay the piper for doing that.
Well, the good news is that she decided not to press charges, so he's not going to be arrested. But the cops just said, "Hey, you're welcome to write like your own rebuttal to this if you want to for the police report." But there is a police report on file because of this, and he is probably very lucky that his former co-star was very gracious and let him go, and that she didn't pursue anything further.
Is he a big drinker or something like that? I don't know that he is.
I don't know. I haven't heard any sort of reputation in regards to that. I know that Dancing with the Stars wise, he was challenging to work with. I'm being kind about that. But it was someone who just didn't really want to rehearse that much. And listen, if you go on that show, you have to put in the work. Like that's what you sign up for. And there's always one celebrity each season that just doesn't want to put in the work, and they are clearly there for the paycheck. And you get a nice base salary, like just for showing up for like 2 weeks of rehearsal and the first 2 weeks of the show. So it's a month commitment. You're guaranteed about $285,000.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So, and then it starts escalating. If you make it halfway through, the money starts going up and up. But he probably just wanted a quick paycheck. And he's like, you know what? I'll just put in the minimal amount of work.
Yep.
And then I'll get voted off and I'll go home.
It's so weird. Like I said, he sat 10 feet from me and he could not have been nicer. He was very
And he
pleasant.
didn't bite you.
He didn't bite us. That's
So
true.
that's
He didn't
good.
bite anybody here.
Well, you were in Florida, so he couldn't.
Oh, I was in Florida at the time.
Glad I wasn't here alone in the room with him.
Nope.
Probably a good
That
move.
happens sometimes with guests and everything.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
When you're in Florida.
I suppose it's. Are people getting weirder by the minute? Is that what it is?
I think so. I think the
I do.
pandemic snapped a lot of people's brains.
I think you're absolutely
Does seem
right.
that way.
It just. Well, it's again, the power and the money grubbing is at an all-time high. There's no question about that. And I think that's part of it too. I think we went through the pandemic and everybody just went into a huge panic. That's never going to happen to me again. Even if I have to steal from you, I'm never going through that again. I think they justify their greed by looking at those. What was that, about 4 years?
5 years ago.
But I mean, it was 4 years in a row, wasn't it?
It was like
That we had-
2.
Two. I think
I
two.
thought it was like 3 or 4.
It was like
Oh,
20 to 2022. I think we kind of like lived through the pandemic.
Yeah, and then everybody by 2022 was like, all right.
We're
That's it.
done.
That's
Yeah.
enough.
Most people
we're-
are over it.
Some people still wear masks everywhere.
some
you
people
know,
do.
there's still those people.
Every
but
so often you see someone walking around or driving with a mask still. It's
Yeah.
like,
I don't
That's
see
why
what's
I
wrong
do
with
that,
masks. Is that a Minnesota thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, you've lived here. You do. And look, I was born here, raised here. I love it here. But these people are the craziest people on earth. They just are.
up there.
Well, it's up there at least. I mean, there's some about Minnesotans that just got this edge to them. I don't know what it is, but well, like for instance, right now, but since we've been talking about it, Fawn, come over here so I can bite you on the arm.
No.
No.
He goes, no.
No means no.
No means no. That's exactly right. But I just another thing. My lovely wife has been out of town now. This is the third day. I have already hit the wall on TV shows. There's not a lot of good TV. We talked about this, I think, briefly yesterday, but there's not a lot of good TV out there anymore.
there
Did
is.
you watch The Studio on Apple?
It's called The Studio.
The Studio. You're not going to want to watch it because it's Seth Rogen. I was like, you're not going to want to watch that, are you?
Oh,
yeah.
you know what? I did watch an episode of that. He's actually good in that. He
He's
does a good
great
job.
in it. The series is fantastic. Like go through that or
Yep.
go through Hacks. I know you need to catch up on Hacks. Hacks is amazing.
Oh,
I don't know where you last left off with Gene Smart's show on Max, but
Catherine hates that show.
oh
That's
my
why we
gosh,
don't watch it.
you should watch it while
Okay,
she's
good.
gone.
I was going to say,
It's-
perfect time. She's not here.
So sharp. It's so well done.
Oh, one thing I got to mention very quickly. So I went and got the mail last night, brought it in. I cut open because they forward our mail from Florida to Minnesota. And I brought it up and I cut the thing open. It was about literally 2 inches thick. They sent the wrong person's financial information to our house.
Ooh.
I mean, that is way out of. I could just open up every one of those envelopes and probably sell his information to somebody else, and he'd never know who did it.
Fun.
I mean, I can't believe people still make mistakes like that.
Yeah, we get those every so often.
Oh God! I mean, you know how dangerous that is.
In this day and age, I mean, especially every other week, there is a password breach of some sort,
Yeah,
or someone's
yeah.
gotten hacked, and then you get that information of like, hey, your information was leaked. I mean, there's that recent one that just happened, and it got like everyone's Google and
Yeah.
Apple passwords. I spent the whole weekend changing passwords.
Oh, I
I
understand
know, it's
that.
always fun.
Oh, going back quickly to the Seth Rogen show, it's called what again?
The Studio.
It's called The Studio. Who was the big producer director who was on there? The first episode.
Was Martin Scorsese on the first one?
Martin Scorsese. That's exactly who it was. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, there's a lot of great cameos to the season, so I say continue on with that.
Yeah, I'll keep watching it. It was
Yeah.
And but he's not. See, Seth Rogen's not being over the top silly. He went with the silly thing way too long for me.
He did. He's a delight, though. Have you interviewed him?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he is delightful. I really enjoy him, and I don't know. And I think he's matured somewhat, and I think that he's a lot of fun.
I was wrong. I did interview him many, many years ago. And that was when I first started hating his guts, because the entire interview he'd go, "So Tom,"
I know.
I think it's a nervous reaction. I think that is when everyone has their own nervous reaction. Sometimes they have a tick, or sometimes you say certain words over and over again. I think that is his go-to reaction when he is uncomfortable in a situation, or nervous about something, or doesn't know how to answer a question.
It's just weird, but Martin Scorsese was wonderful, because they ended up crying at the table. I thought that was fabulous.
Martin Scorsese is a delight. His daughter is pretty big on TikTok, and she will bring in Marty. And he is so funny, because you always just see him as this big, serious director.
Yeah,
and he will do some of these like little comedy bits, little anecdotes, or tell a story. And he's so fun.
Yeah, it's really, I'm surprised that you thought, well, again, you know that I don't care that much. As long as he doesn't get silly, I'm fine with him. But that silly thing he does.
I think you like the whole season of The Studio. And I think while Catherine's gone, you should go back and rewatch Hacks, because every single season is very strong. And that's the thing. It's so rare that a show has a hit every single season. You know, oftentimes you're like, the sophomore season was kind of bad, and then it got a little bit better. But this one just knocks it out of the park.
And they keep changing the sidekick, don't they, for her? The younger women that I don't know what they do.
No, Hannah Einbinder is still her.
Einbinder's still there?
Yeah, she's still there. She's so good. And the two of them are so good together. I think it's that particular dynamic that really makes a big difference. And they're friends in real life. Like, you can tell
that's good
that these women genuinely like each other off screen.
Meg, well, it's okay, guys, because she's going to be gone tonight and tomorrow. I'll pick her up until I think it's 2 o'clock on Thursday. So
is she sightseeing?
She's I think so. She's just there. She's there with a friend, and she already told me she's been to all these different things. And
she keeps sending me random pictures, and then she won't respond to text messages I send her.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah, I know. Earlier today, Melissa was like, "We need to talk to Mom about the getting a new fence for their new house," and I'm like, "Yeah." Let's just call her and have her answer her phone, shall we?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Good luck. Well, she'll get back on Thursday.
If she's not responding to Fawn, forget it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't respond to Fawn ever, because
she's so. I would respond to Fawn. She's so cute.
Oh, are you cute, Fawny?
So adorable. No,
no, I'm not. Okay, well.
Good gracious. Oh, I finished another Simple Favor last night.
What did you think now that you slogged through it?
It was so bad.
What is it?
It's a movie that you would never care about.
What's it called?
Another Simple Favor. So there was this is the sequel. Okay. So A Simple Favor was out in theaters. What was it, like 5 years ago?
Yeah. Oh, longer than that. I'm going to say probably 7, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was like a kind of a dark comedy, like some twists and turns, but the wardrobe was fabulous, and like it was well done. And then they came out with a sequel, and they just put it on Prime, right? I think it was on Prime. And it was absolutely horrible. Like, all the same people were in it, and it was so bad.
Yeah, the first movie came out in 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's been a while. The first film was A Simple Favor, and then the follow-up was Another Simple Favor.
Another Simple Favor.
You would would not like
watch the first one.
I don't think Dad
you wouldn't like it. No, but for anyone listening who might want like a fun dark comedy, Blake Lively, Anna Kendrick, really well done that first time around.
Yes.
A Simple Favor. Don't bother with the sequels. No point.
I would say this, because of AI and because of the Netflix of the world and all that stuff. Most of the stuff that appears on television now is not very good, because there are so many different holes to fill. There's no way they can have that much content. Back when it was ABC, NBC, and CBS, even before Fox, it was only 3 networks. There was tons of great stuff because they only had room for 3 spots. Now they have to fill up 1,000 holes with TV shows.
And it's why we're seeing a lot of crossover, because they've slowed down production. So that means we have less content. And
Mhm.
it's why ABC is looking at Hulu, like, what are our hits? Okay, 6 months later, after it's aired on Hulu, now we're going to move it over to the network. And you'll get an edited version, of course, but it's why they moved over like Mormon Housewives, why they keep moving over Only Murders in the Building. They're like, hey, this will fill a hole that we have mid-season. So usually they're stacked for the fall and they're stacked for the late spring. But, somewhere around January, February, when people are sort of getting back into television after the holiday season, they just dump things there.
You know what I found kind of interesting, that the only Murders in the Building, I like everybody in it, and I think the show sucks. I'm surprised because I like, all the Steve Martin's in it, and
Martin Short, Selena
Marty
Gomez is
Short,
great.
Yep.
Meryl Streep is wonderful.
I love Meryl Streep, but at the show, I just think it's okay at best.
Renee Zellweger's joining for the next season.
Oh,
Really?
They really attract great talent.
I watched like the first 3-4 episodes, and I
Yeah.
just couldn't stand how Selena Gomez talks. Like she kind of
mumbles.
really move her
Oh,
mouth
yeah, I hate that.
much, and she drags her words out. And I just was like, "What are you doing? I don't like this." So I just stopped watching it.
Yeah. So I mean, that's basically, and look, I mean, Steve Martin, my first memory of Steve Martin from 40 years ago, he's at the St. Paul Civic Center. The place is packed with about 35,000 people, and I think it only sat about 25,000. And you can barely see him. I went to the back just to see if people could even see him from the back row. He was about the size of a popsicle. And he goes, "I'm going to do my dime trick." And he holds up his hand. And of course, you can't tell if he's got a dime in it or not. The whole point being, this trick will not work at all because you can't see it anyway. You're that far away. He was very good on stage. And like I said, Martin Short, I love Martin Short. I like everybody in it, but it's just not interesting.
Not your jam.
No, I guess that's just what it is. I am having a hard time with TV. TV is really bad now because there's so many outlets and places to put stuff. They can't possibly fill them all.
Well, and I do think we're going to see probably very soon, we're going to start seeing the consolidation of a lot of these streaming services.
Yeah.
So it'll get a little bit easier, I think, content wise for everybody once you start seeing things like HBO is probably going to get bought up by Netflix or Amazon Prime. We're going to probably see that in the next few years. We'll see what happens with Paramount once the merger goes through. So there's a lot of movement and changes that are happening.
Well, the most exciting thing that's happened to me in about a week on television is because I started rewatching the hour-long version of Alfred Hitchcock. So there you go.
You love to go back to your classics.
I do. I love classics. And that was a very well-written show.
Someone
really.
texted in, they agree with Alex. They can't watch that show because of Selena Gomez.
Yeah, I just couldn't get past it. It's been a few years though, so I'm like, and I keep on hearing like I love everybody that's in it, like you said. So I'm like, maybe I need to go back and just like.
She does mumble a little bit. I get it.
See if I can handle it or not. I might still be like, what?
I do like the dynamic of the trio though, like the young millennial, or because I guess she's a young millennial, and then the two boomers together.
Yes.
Another listener says they recommend you watch Barney Miller.
Barney Miller with Hal Linden.
50 years ago.
I think it's more than that,
You
isn't
think
it?
it's more than 50? No.
Barney Miller. It started almost exactly 50 years ago.
Look at that.
Well,
50. Watch Barney Miller. It's really good.
Well, I mean, Alfred Hitchcock's older than Barney Miller.
Oh,
so-
God.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just loved him when he came out and introduced his own show because he was just this wry, smart guy. I would have called him a smart Abe at Fawn's here, so I didn't do that. But
Hal Linden's still alive.
Yes, he is.
He's 94.
I know that
Wonderful.
word.
What?
I know the.
You know,
The word that
you know
you
what
said
A
you were
starts
going
with
to-
or whatever?
Huh?
What starts with A?
Yeah. Don't say it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Smart apple.
Okay.
There it is.
The smart apple?
Like you never swear in front of
Yeah,
Fawn.
really.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh, the hell with Fawn.
Okay.
She looked at me like, Bob.
Fawn, you tell him I'm not going to put up with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Fawn. You
Your
do that.
fault.
Are you guys really going to a baseball game this weekend?
Maybe.
We might go tomorrow.
Oh my God, it's going to be something to watch. I'll tell you.
There is like food cart thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
And
there for the
it's-
food.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
And it
there
has
for the
really
food.
amazing curry thing with like a
Oh,
ton of
good.
cilantro in it and chickpeas. And like every time I go, I'm like, get me to this cart. I can't remember what the name of it is,
It
but
sounds
it's
delicious though. Anything with
Well,
cilantro and chickpeas, I'm all
me
in.
too.
Oh yeah,
I know.
No, I agree.
We
I
don't,
know.
Melissa and I don't like cilantro that much. Like I
I-
tolerate it if it's in very small amounts, but I think it overpowers anything it touches.
I love cilantro. I'm like tacos. I'm like, give me 15 leaves of
Like
I
the
cilantro.
street
don't like
tacos?
cilantro. I like a little bit though.
Yeah,
she
a tiny
likes-
bit is enough to like as a garnish almost.
Yeah.
Just for color. But if you put too much on it, all you taste is cilantro.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like
But Fawn, you don't
cilantro
really,
salad.
you can't really do leafy stuff right now with all
Yeah.
of the metal in your mouth.
A lot of metal.
You can
Got
have like salads, but you
I've
can't.
got braces, a front 7, a whole
Expander.
expander on the roof of my mouth. I've got how many silver caps?
Jeez.
I don't
One,
know. She's got.
2,
She's
3,
feeling for him.
She's trying-
Okay.
5, 6, 7.
She's still counting.
She's a lot of silver
7.
caps. Yeah.
Okay, I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
When Bop Bop was your age and people got braces, what was their nickname?
Brace face.
Brace face.
Nope.
Metal mouth.
Nope.
Mom called her something weird, and I was like, "What?"
Do you want to know
Some
what it
old
was?
person
When
thing.
I was your age, a kid in our neighborhood got braces, and for an entire year or two, his nickname was Tin Grin.
Aw,
Not even 10.
It's not. She goes, it's not
True, it's
even
not.
10.
not even 10.
It's not.
I had braces
Felt
and
like-
look at straight teeth years later.
Yes, exactly.
Forever. That's the funny thing about like the Tin Man and tin foil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing is actually made of tin anymore.
No.
It's actually
Nope.
very difficult to find tin.
Yeah. Tin cans.
foil.
You have tin cans. They're not made
Yeah.
of tin.
There's
No.
tin foil.
No,
Well, it's
tin
like-
foil's made of aluminum.
Tin foils, aluminium.
Aluminium in
Well,
England,
it's like
yes.
it's like pencil lead.
Aluminium.
There's no lead in pencil
Never
lead.
was,
All
actually.
lead.
Graphite. Yeah,
Yep.
I know.
Where did they get the extra I in NUM?
Well, they spell it that
Aluminium.
way. N-I-U-M.
Yeah, they spell
They
it
do?
differently.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's aluminum.
I actually know the story behind the spelling aluminium.
Tell us everything.
So a British guy discovered it, and he called it aluminum. But there's like some British, like the triumvirate of naming things or whatever the hell they had back then. And they said, no, aluminum doesn't sound British enough. So we're going to call it aluminium. And
Ooh,
that's
there
the
you
story.
go.
But
That-
before
okay.
they could do that, the news got over here in America that there's this new thing called aluminum.
Mm.
So we still call it what he originally called it. And
Mhm.
in England, they changed the name.
There
People
you
think
go.
that America changed the name, but that's not how it went.
Nope.
Huh.
Yep.
Interesting.
All right, Kristen, another
Aluminium.
big day from you. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
And-
biting. Martin Coven biting.
The final day for 2 days.
Yes, I'm on set the next 2 days. I know.
So you're not back till Monday or
Nope, I'm here on Friday.
Friday. Okay.
I will be here on
It's
Friday, but I'll be on
Wednesday
set.
We'll, I think, have mom back. on
Friday, May.
Yeah, Friday.
She said
She
she
has to come here. She
could,
has to
but
take my
doesn't want
kids
to,
home,
but-
so she has no choice.
Okay, there you go.
And she has to get her dog back. So
That's true too. I'm sure.
Gotta
she'll
get
do that.
Judy.
yeah,
Gotta
Judy.
get Judy back.
yeah.
All right. We will talk to you then on Friday.
Friday. See you all then.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Kristen Bird
Farewell.
Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC equal housing lender. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I announced at the beginning of the show,
You know, we
the
still haven't done one commercial break.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
I got it under control.
Fawn and I have to leave
We got
at 11:10
11:10.
Yeah.
to go pick up Sage from basketball.
He
Duh.
can walk home. He's probably still crying from the
No,
basketball
Dan
game.
yesterday was able to
Where-
pick him up because Dan works from home on Mondays and like he moved his lunch break so we could pick him up. But Dan's downtown
Well, I wish
today.
you would have
so
told me this. That would have
Yeah,
we could
what
have
do you
started the
mean?
show earlier.
I couldn't have started the show earlier because I had to drop him off at basketball camp.
Oh my god.
Every
Duh.
single summer camp ends at like 11:30 or 11:45.
All right. Well, if you got to leave in 8 minutes, we better do other stuff then.
I've got a ballet intensive.
You don't
And-
have an. That's like
I mean,
weeks
not
from
an
now.
intensive ballet, semi,
Are you gonna
whatever
burn up
that
even more
word is.
time before you leave?
What?
Pipe down.
No. We're gonna go pick up Sage, and then we're gonna go home, get our lunches, and then we're gonna have lunch in the car. Well, we drive to my
Semi.
semi-ballet private.
Well, now we're down to 8 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, text line 612-361-6622, 612-361-6622. You can call in directly, 952-977-9381. We need to talk some Twins because they are horrendous.
I mean, you're the only one that knows anything about it, really. So
Yeah, that's it.
I
Nobody else
literally
watches?
I know nothing. I've not watched a single moment of Twins baseball this season.
Well, you're lucky because they're horrendous.
So,
We will be right back right after this. From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Allie?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands-free, but you can't have your phone in your hand for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget. And now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages, because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this, because it needs to stop.
Whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
South Dakota, one of the most business-friendly states in the country, and there's no better place to settle down and take advantage of those incentives than in Sioux Falls. As the state's largest city with a metro population over 290,000, Sioux Falls has low business costs with a high quality of life. There's no state, corporate, or personal income tax, no inheritance tax, and no limits to what your business can achieve. And I should announce, by the way, that Sioux Falls has been a sponsor of the show for a long, long time. And Catherine and I have decided in late July or early August, we're going to spend a 4-day weekend in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And I want to go see that actual little waterfall thing that they got, the Rock Falls or whatever.
I have been to Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
It was a
Me
long
too.
time ago.
It's adorable.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Like the little downtown part's really cute. I was like surprised.
When I was at Capitol Records, I used to have to travel there, but that was more than 40 years
Oh
ago.
yeah,
So
it's
there
really
you
cute.
go. Here's the deal. South Dakota ranks among the top 10 states in the U.S. for tax friendliness, hardest working, healthcare, and doctors, most popular to move to, inbound state for movers, listed in the 50 best places to live for families, the fastest growing Midwest metro, one of the best places to raise a family, one of the best small cities for Gen Z workers, and national fourth top inbound city people move to. How does South Dakota stack up against other states? We rank second in the nation for the lowest cost of doing business, the most business-friendly state, and the best business tax climate. And as South Dakota's biggest city, Sioux Falls is at the center of these benefits. Visit www.siouxfallsdevelopment.com. All right, we got 5 more minutes with Fawn and Alex, and then Andy and
My
I.
name's not Fawn. It's the wonderful, amazing, gentle.
The wonderful, amazing,
Dancer
gentle
Fawn.
dancer Fawn.
Yeah.
How about
Excuse me.
Hammerhead? How about we just call you that?
Your knuckle cracker.
Knuckle
you see that?
cracker.
See how swollen that knuckle is? It hurts like
cracked-
mad. I don't know what I did to it, but it
You
hurts.
cracked it too much.
I must have.
Because you're
not
the
enough.
knuckle cracker.
Oh yeah, I don't ever crack my knuckle.
So you
yeah,
don't really crack my
I can
knuckle.
crack my knuckles all the time.
Do you?
I can crack my
knuckles.
elbows,
Yeah, I've
which
never
Melissa
been-
thinks is
How do
weird.
I
Do
crack
that.
my toes, my hips, and my knuckles.
I can crack my toes too.
I cracked my neck.
Yep, I used to. When I was a
can't
kid, I
believe
could
What the
crack
hell's
my
wrong
neck
with
like
you people?
crazy.
It's all
No.
from Nana.
I've never
No, you
been able to
do
do
this and then you.
You learned
Yeah.
that from Michael. I don't know how to do that.
I can usually crack my elbows. There we go. Oh, whoops! Well, I hit the mic on that one.
I'm
but
too.
You were the first one.
Amazing.
I think I'm too hyper flexible to crack my elbows.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Because they hyperextend.
Same.
Yep. You got my. You got my
It's not
flexy
working.
elbows.
I can't.
Really, you're going to burn up your last minutes talking about bone structure.
It's more interesting
Why
than
not?
twins.
I don't
Yeah,
have a
Well, that's
spine.
true. That's a
Guys,
very
I don't
good
have a
point.
spine.
She doesn't
You don't have a
No,
spine?
no, no.
She's too bendy.
Boy, I tell you what, you left an opening for a number of comments that I won't go with. Saying you're spineless.
hmm
I probably wouldn't do. Oh God.
Saying
can-
you're spineless means like you're
coward.
not brave or you're
Yeah.
like afraid of
Oh.
everything.
See,
Spineless.
I didn't say you're spineless. I was going to, though.
You're spineless. You're
So
very spineless.
What sports? Okay, now has Sage recovered? Has he stopped tearing up?
Yeah, he's okay now.
His team lost in the final game of the NBA championship.
Why does he care about the Clippers or whatever?
Weird fun fact, Pacers.
Pacers.
Because he's just super into basketball,
He is,
and
yeah.
he really likes statistics just in general.
Oh, are they like the best team right now?
Well, they were in the NBA finals. So like the two best teams that made it to the finals. It's kind of like the Super Bowl of, basketball. And he just really likes the Pacers and how they play. He doesn't like how Oklahoma City Thunder plays because their like star guy
Would
does
you
a lot
stop
of
doing that.
You can hear it on the microphone.
Yes, you can hear it. It's clicking like mad.
Their star player does a lot of like really aggressive driving to the hoop
Better.
and then gets people fouled all the time. So he takes a lot of so anyway, and he really wanted the Pacers to win, and it was down to game 7, and it was 3, like the Pacers had won 3 and the Oklahoma City Thunder had won 3. But weird fact, there are 3 people that tore their Achilles during the NBA playoffs.
Really?
Halliburton, who was on the Pacers, that happened in the final game and probably cost them the game. Jason Tatum, who's like the star of the Celtics. And then somebody else that I can't remember who it is. But they all tore their Achilles, which is like not a super common injury in basketball.
Mhm.
And they all are the number 0.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's kind of scary.
I know, isn't that weird?
Don't go with 0, Fawn.
Yeah, don't wear the number 0. Sage,
NBA curse.
Not a good
Sage
call.
is 13. That's his
Whoever
number.
whoever's the age 0, they have really bad.
The age 0. All
age-
babies have
yeah.
bad luck.
Well, I mean,
Oh no, poor college.
it's not wrong.
Have bad luck? Babies have the easiest lives in the world.
Colin falls over all the time.
Well,
Terrible luck.
I
Poor
mean,
baby.
Yeah, he likes to play with things and then hit his head on them and then cry about it.
no.
Wait,
Do you have to leave right
Oh,
now?
shoot,
Or,
yes, I do,
I was going to
yes.
say.
Okay.
You weren't
Bye.
listening to it.
Farewell.
All right.
Farewell,
We'll see you
gentlemen
tomorrow. We'll be
and
here the whole
ladies.
time for the rest of the week.
Oh.
I think. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
We will.
Kristen's not going to be here tomorrow or Thursday.
Okay, we'll be here
Nana's
for the
not
rest of
back
the
till
week.
Friday.
I'll bring some fun
Then-
facts tomorrow.
Nana and I are going on
See?
vacation within the next couple of weeks. So that are you guys going to do the show anyway?
I
don't know.
don't know. We'll have to talk about it.
I have to go. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
We'll talk to you
bye,
later.
bye, bye, bye.
No problem. We'll get it all
Jeez.
taken care of.
Yeah, we have guests the rest of the. Well, we don't have anything on Friday yet, but that's comedians don't even get in until Thursday usually.
Well, that's very, very true.
Yeah, on tomorrow we got Officer Dave coming on in,
Oh, do we?
and then on Thursday, do you remember the story of at the Mall of America? Someone threw a boy over the balcony.
Yeah.
It's his mom. She's gonna be in.
The kid that got thrown over the balcony,
The
or the kid
mom
that
of
threw
the
him?
kid that got thrown. The person who threw him was a grown man.
It was a grown man. Yeah.
Yep.
Was that water park or something?
No, that was the Mall of America.
It was the Mall of America. But isn't there a water park in the Mall of America?
If there is, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I have no idea. I haven't been in the Mall of America in about
Yeah.
15 years.
I probably have been 15 years for me
been a long
since I
time.
quit the House of Comedy.
Made a post earlier today. I've convinced myself it's time to grow up and admit this is the worst Twins team ever, save for a few players. This team is unwatchable. When I checked the score this morning, giving up double-digit runs again. I want a divorce, even though I've never had or been through a real divorce in my life. From Captain. That's the one thing about sending stuff in on social media is it never gives your full name, I don't think, when you send something in. Yeah, I'm trying to find the real name. So I will go with the first name. It's probably the only way I can do this, don't you think, Andy? Reading their comments.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Taking a phone call.
Oh, you were? Okay, I'm sorry.
We have Joe on the phone. He's back from the hospital.
Joe, what, did you have something happen to your leg or something?
Yeah. Still continuing problems with my left leg. I got some kind of infection in it. I have no idea what it is.
Jeez.
Infectious disease doesn't either.
Huh.
Oh.
And I got gangrene in my right foot.
My God, I mean, isn't that sometimes that's deadly, isn't it?
Yes, it can very well be.
Yeah, if it's not taken care of, which I did on Thursday. Went down for surgery at about 10 o'clock to remove the gangrene from my left foot and scraped or debrided my left foot.
How is this all happening? What happened?
Nature.
It's just nature.
I have
Nature
no
in
idea,
general.
like I said, I have no idea how where the infection came from.
A question I have: where did you grow up in the Twin Cities?
And St. Paul,
That's what I thought. St. Paul.
over there by Yale University.
Mm-hmm. The reason I'm asking is, do you still follow Minnesota sports?
I do not.
I didn't think you did. And I think it's very, very smart at this point because the baseball team is the worst it's ever been, in my opinion. And I'm very serious about that. The Vikings have never won a Super Bowl. The last time they won an NBA title, it was the Minneapolis Lakers, and that was now 65 years ago. And the hockey in the state of hockey, we've never won a National League hockey title. What is wrong with sports? Now we've won 2 World Series, but now this team's the worst it's ever been. What about that?
I think they're trying to piss you off.
I think they are. They're doing it on purpose, giving up double-digit runs in almost every game. Almost every game now, the opposing team scores double-digit runs. That's amazing to me.
I used to follow, but I stopped for personal reasons, and it has nothing to do with their playing.
Can I guess what it was?
Go for it.
Because when you used to watch the games, you used to drink?
Nope.
No, really? Because a lot of guys give up
Nope.
watching sports and drinking. They give up drinking because they can't watch the sports anymore.
No, I gave up watching them quite recently.
Oh, you did? Okay. What caused it?
Well, the Twins, it was their adulation of George Floyd.
Yeah.
I understand that. A lot of
I
people are
mean-
very pissed off about that.
Yes, they were.
Well, yeah, George Floyd, they claim that he was killed by a Minneapolis police officer.
Which they
Okay,
proved
but
was
what
not
about
true.
Breonna Taylor down here?
Yeah, that's right.
She was shot 9 times by the police.
Was
Yep.
that where was that?
Down here, it was downtown.
Was that in Louisville?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
God.
Now, you see, the difference is George Floyd is a criminal. Breonna Taylor was an EMT.
Right. That's right.
You know, if you're gonna sit there and give your adulation to one person
Mm-hmm.
that was killed by the police, you should do it for someone else that's not a criminal, that actually is trying to help others.
One thing I will say
And
about
it's just like, what's that?
one thing I will say about that is the fact that it's very, very hard to find the truth now because the national news lies constantly
Yeah, they
to
sure
draw
do.
more viewers. They are constantly lying about things like this.
Right.
I don't know. Can you get the truth anymore? I will tell you this. I am at wit's end. Just the greed that's going on, not only in America, but in the world right now. Greed is at an all-time high. It's all about money. Everything is.
Yeah, I do know one truth, that no matter where you go, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The guitarist, Mick Ralphs, of Bad Company, has passed away.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Mm,
You know, we're losing some rock stars in the last couple of years. A lot of rock stars been dying, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's that time, the booze, the drugs, and hard life on the roads catching up to them.
Well, there's no question about that. So now to get back to your maladies, you're in good shape now, are you not?
I'm getting there.
Oh, you're getting there. Okay.
I've got what's called a PICC line in my arm. It's like a IV, but it goes up to the veins right above my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to carry around this small container, I guess you could say, of antibiotics.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's about the size of a hand grenade. And it fits into this pouch that I got to carry around with me.
God.
And I'm going to be on that for at least 2 more weeks. It's a constant thing. When I go to bed, I have to sit on the table next to me and
Oh, yeah.
pray I don't move too much.
Oh, I could not do that. I move so much when I sleep.
So do I.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
flopping around.
Basically just constantly
Ow.
spinning.
That's true.
I flip.
Yep.
I flip constantly too.
Yep, me too.
That's just part of the
But
deal.
thankfully, they gave me, well, yes and no, thankfully. I got some oxycodone. I just pop one of those before I go to bed and I just lay there and
That's
I'm
true.
out.
That'll make you, you won't be doing a whole lot of moving if you take one of those before bed.
Well, we're glad to hear that you got through it. Because man, when I first heard about this, Joe, I thought, boy, you must have thought at one time that you were going to check out, didn't you?
Well, you got admitted last Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Monday evening.
Yep, week in the hospital. Fun stuff.
And I will tell you this, for the longest time, I used to bitch about people putting things on the phone, get this app, get this app, get this app. It's like, why? Don't you think the Pakistan that's controlling my life is enough as it is?
Yeah.
But sitting in the hospital, man, with only my phone to communicate with the outside world, I can understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I
That's
remember.
absolutely right.
Yeah, a year ago when I was in there twice. Yeah. I ran out my phone quite a few times during the day.
It all works out in the end. Well, Joe, stay in good health for us. You can't be going anywhere.
Yeah, I know. I'm working at it. My feet are getting better.
Good.
It no longer hurts like hell to walk on my left foot.
That's good.
Well, yeah, that skin removal process is one of the more painful things that there are.
It's true. All right.
I have a home nurse coming today after the show to talk to me about changing, about maintenance on the IV and the antibiotics, and we'll see where it goes from there.
We shall indeed. All right, Joe. Well, thanks very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Will do.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
We'll be right back. Take a break. Get back in minutes right from this. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Brian Thiel, president of Abrasives of St. Paul.
What I like best about North American Banking Company is the small town feel with great products and very good service. And I love the people. I would definitely recommend North American to other business owners. A lot of banks I could choose from, and North American Banking Company is the one.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. That's nabanco.com, or stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. What do you think of that action? It's time for Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is the place that I highly recommend. Wellshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team, always staffed within the building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Wellshire Medina is now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally, and they are a family-owned local company, conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They are the best staffed memory care facility in the state. Wellshire has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. I've known the family for years, the father, the son, the whole deal. Set up a tour or learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com. For Brad, John Bryant, Michael Bryant. Michael, what's up?
Dealing with another case where a person gave a statement to the adjuster because they thought the person was really friendly.
Is that a good idea?
Well, the problem is they know the law when they call you up. And while you're trying to be fair and you're trying to get help, the reality is there are questions you get asked that the way you answer them make a big difference. And people put themselves in trouble. And when they aren't in trouble, they didn't do anything wrong, but suddenly the adjuster's got a statement that can blow up their case completely.
What has caused people to be so untrustworthy, I guess is the best way I could put it? They take advantage.
Well, insurance companies have hired adjusters whose job it is to deal with unrepresented people. So they're supposed to kind of lure them in, call them every day, see how they're doing. And people are like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Where the reality is they've kind of adjusted to their problem that they've got going on. So it's not that they're completely better, but the way they say it gets to be a problem. And that's why having somebody who can explain your rights, represent you, make sure that you understand the law before you give a statement can make a big difference in your case.
Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant. There he is. Okay.
You're to be sad because of the Twins or whatever.
Yeah, well, I can understand that. There's no question about it. Yeah, let me know if you get any text messages or calls, because I got a lot of text messages here. I posted, I have convinced myself that it's time to grow up and admit this is the worst Twins team, I should say. Grow up and admit this is the worst Twins team ever. Save for a few players, this team is unwatchable. When I checked the score this morning, giving up double-digit runs again. I want a divorce, and I've never been through a real one, so I'm very serious about that. Captain Strong says, I agree, Tommy. Absolutely embarrassing. From Wild Cyber Guy, the Twins need a full cleansing from ownership, GM, to the head coach on down. Just get rid of them all. All right, next one from Jake. I got the T-shirt. Divorce for real sucks. I divorced the Vikings after they displayed criminals' names on their helmets a few years ago. Do I watch them? When it's convenient. Did I forget and forgive? No. I even wrote the owners a letter and heard nothing back from them. Yeah, remember when they did that? Put criminals' names on their helmets.
Yeah.
What the hell? Why would you do something like that?
For a while, they were just like, anytime anything bad happened to a black person, they just immediately rallied behind them without getting any of the facts first, and it made them look dumb quite a few times.
What, don't they understand that's racist? You're helping them solely because of their skin color.
They don't care.
To love anybody or hate someone solely based on skin color, is insane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the human being in them that we're all looking at, not how they look or what they're. It's just, I've never understood that about the far, far left, that you think kissing ass on everybody's the route. No, it's each individual, you dumbass.
Well, I think it's just cowardice in their part.
Well, that's what it's trying to cover up their own bullshit. You're right about that. The Drifter did escape, sends in rudderless ownership, which is very, very sad. Vex the Pirate. Vex, how you doing?
Vex the Pirate.
You know Vex the Pirate, don't you? You've seen her post before.
Have I?
Well, maybe not. I get them from Vex all the time.
I don't go on Google, so.
Oh, there you go. What has 8 legs and lives in the basement? The Minnesota Twins. 18 legs. Sorry, Vex, I screwed it up.
Whoops.
What has 18 legs and lives in the basement? The Minnesota Twins. Thank you, Vex. Mikey says, said it all my life, Twinkie. While I was serving overseas in 1987, my father sent me a Homer hanky. I thought it was a joke. Don Berry. I gave up professional sports years ago. It seems Minnesota strives for mediocrity most of the time. Just what we're talking about now. You're absolutely right. There's no question about that. That they kind of strive for, we'll be just good enough to get your money out of you for tickets.
Exactly.
It's really, really too bad. It's really too bad. This just popped up. Are you sitting down? Maybe you should lay down for this one. Both 494 and 35W will be closed this weekend in Bloomington. They're going to close both of them? Oh, my God.
All right. I mean, when we went to St. Paul, we drove by 3 different times when the road was funneled down to 1 lane. All they do is close roads in Minneapolis.
That's what they're all closed. It's just unbelievable.
Nonstop.
They're going to close both 494 and 35W, be closed this weekend in Bloomington and Richfield, so crews can remove the WB 494, westbound 494, bridge over 35W, 494 between Highway 100 and Highway 77, and 35W between 494 and Highway 62, 10 p.m. Friday until 5 a.m. on Monday. Oh, my God. Oh, my God is all I have to say. Jeremy says, saw this leaving the Twins game last night, of course. Is it really that important to put the alphabet flag on an electronic road sign, or would it be more valuable to use it for the purpose it was intended, alerting drivers about important road information? Oh yeah, right there on, what is it, down on 6th Street? Yeah, they have the flag up there now, and it's all lit up like a street sign. Yeah, okay, then I just ran into a bunch of stuff that I couldn't possibly want to comment on. It gets very, very political. Let me put it that way. It gets very political, but yeah, we're in a situation now with our teams that I'm asking people out there, do you have any idea? I mean, are the Vikings going to be better this year? I thought they'd be better last year, and they were good during the regular season, but in the playoffs, they were dreadful. So what is it about Minnesota sports teams other than the 87 and 91 Twins? Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I was 8 years old, the Minnesota Gophers won the national football title. That was, ladies and gentlemen, about 60 some years ago. So it's hard for me to continue to be a Minnesota sports fan. That doesn't mean that I'd go to another team in another state. I am a Minnesotan, born in Minnesota, raised in Minnesota. We love living in Minnesota. But other than those two teams, nothing, right?
Well, what in the chat, it's mostly just people saying that they don't watch anymore because they don't care.
Yeah, because I'm glad you brought that up, Andy, because that's how I'm getting. I watched a few innings of the game last night. The Twins got down by, I think they were down by 6 runs when I finally said, I can't do this anymore. They were down 6-0, and I just bailed on it. Checked on the score this morning. I think they lost like 11-2. It's just insane.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, they lost 11-2.
11-2.
And Seattle's an okay team. It's not like they're a powerhouse. So
let's see. They have a .519. So not great.
No, not great at all.
In fact, barely better than us, I think. We have a .474. So yeah, they're not a very good team either.
But we lose 11-2 to them.
Yep.
I don't know. I tell you what. Well, why don't we take that final break, come back and close things out here, ladies and gentlemen. Back in a couple of minutes. And if you have any further comment, we'd love to hear from you. And I don't care if it's the Twins, Vikings. I mean, we've done nothing in basketball since 1960. So that's
why not
the problem there.
Go to TomBernardPodcast.com and click on the chat link and join me in the chat every single show.
Now, how often do you get a lot of chat responses?
Chat's always going. Yep.
Now, what are they talking about today?
Right now they're talking about the Breonna Taylor case because Joe brought it up.
Because Joe brought it up. Yeah.
Talking about what actually happened and then
what did happen?
I believe so. They had a warrant for some guy, and I think it was Breonna's ex, and they went to the place that they thought he was at, but it was actually Breonna and her current boyfriend.
Oh God.
The boyfriend shot at the cops. They shot back and they ended up killing her.
Why would he shoot at the cops?
Apparently he thought he didn't know it was cops because it was a no-knock raid, but some people say they did knock, and of course we will never know the truth.
I don't know about this people carrying guns, man. I don't know. Look, I own a pistol, but I don't carry it.
That's why I think we should all go back to swords.
Yeah, good swords. At least we do.
You're not going to get too many accidents like that with swords.
A little on guard.
But you can still defend yourself.
All right. We'll take that break, come right back and clean things up. Yeah, we're going to be low staffed tomorrow and Thursday as well, right?
I mean, Alex is going to be here and the Dave's coming in, but
that's right.
But yeah, no Kristen and no Mom. So, yeah.
The two older women.
God,
they'll get pissed off at me for saying that, but it's just one.
Well, everyone's an older woman compared to Fawn.
Well, that's exactly right. It's a very good way to put it. So there's that. All right. We'll be right back. Wrap things up right after this. I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy. We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face.
Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot. Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said, so why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Ladies and gentlemen, Twin Cities Savers online summer auction. Here's the deal. It starts, well, actually, it started last Friday, correct? And it ends on Thursday.
Yes.
There you go. Started last Friday, ends Thursday, June 28th, or June 26th at 8 p.m. I'm sorry, I misspoke there. June 26th at 8 p.m. Visit scorenorth.com, enter keyword auction to view and bid on items. Save up to 70% off retail prices, tens of thousands of dollars in items up for grab. Zero-turn lawnmower. We're talking about some featured auction items here. Zero-turn lawnmower, string trimmer, and leaf blower from Tri-State Bobcat. Electric bikes and a generator from EcoFun Motorsports. Airport hotel stays at the Intercontinental for your next getaway. Golf simulators. What do you think of that for year-round play? I have a couple of friends that have golf simulators. They just absolutely love them. All-inclusive spa getaway at Buffalo Ridge Resort and Spa. Garage storage systems from Gator Magnetics. Aquatic reed removal from your lake. And lots more private golf lessons, as a matter of fact, up your game. Visit scorenorth.com, enter keyword auction to view, bid, and win. Click it, bid it, win it. Why pay full price when you can save up to 70%?
I believe in the kingdom come, then all the colors will bleed.
All right, Andy, I just, there are many more texts and messages that I got. And I just, the people in this town are sick to death of our teams never delivering since 1991. Haven't won women's teams. Have they won a national title?
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah.
Hockey did twice, I think. The hell are they called? Women's hockey. What are they called? They are the. Oh man, not the Gophers. Piece of crap. Someone in the chat knows. I know because the Frost. That's what it is.
Oh, the Frost. Yeah, there you go.
So every time we bring it up, someone has to bring up how the Frost is killing it because they've had two. So there's basically a women's NHL now, and it's 2 years old, and the Frost have won both of them.
There you have it.
And then I think the basketball team has won a couple.
The women's team.
Yes.
Yeah. Not the men's team, the women's team.
What are they called? The something or the Lynx.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Let's see. What titles have they won, if any?
I don't know if they have won it. I don't know.
Let's see. 4 championships. 11, 13, 15, and 17.
Oh, it's been that long?
So it's been 8 years since they've won a championship, but I mean, it's more recent than any other Minnesota team.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we'll close on this one because I have 8 billion people sending me something that I posted earlier today, but I was very sincere about it. First of all, Carly Ray, R-E-Y-E, I believe it's Carly Ray or Carly Rye. I suppose it could be pronounced. Carly asked the question, what's a turn on for you in women? What's a turn on for you in women? I responded, the name Catherine Brandt.
Well, then.
What do you think of that, Andy?
I cannot comment.
All right, you can't. All right, that'll wrap it up. Yeah, we're kind of understaffed this week, but and then Nana and I are going on vacation, the second week in July or first week in July or
first week. You're leaving on like the 3rd, right?
Oh, the 3rd of July.
Or are we just taking that off? Because
I don't have any idea when we're leaving. That's all up to
you don't
Nana.
have any idea.
We'll get it all covered, but yeah, we'll and by the way, our numbers keep going up again. And Andy, I've been told they just keep on going up, and a lot of people got a couple of new businesses that have come on. They want to start advertising on the show, so I'm talking to them, and we'll get that taken care of. So yes, thank you for all your support. The show will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's a lot of fun. I've built a morning show along with some other people, Dave Hamilton, people like that. Mark Steinmetz built that morning show. It lasted 37 years. So we like to build shows on a real steady basis so they do last, not just pop up big and then fade away. You just construct them so they last a long time. And it's, it takes a little longer to do, but it's well worth it. So thank you for your support, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Every time I hear the same, reminds me how you talking.